Hello, it's really good to see you this evening. My name is Tracy Allen and I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I've been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator now for several years, actually going on 2 here shortly. And then I've been a crafter for many years, 20 plus years now. I'm glad you're joining us today. I have some really beautiful cards to share with you. Let me just check and make sure everything's good. If you are online with us, please comment below to get entered into our monthly drawings. Just say hi, hello. I'd really appreciate it if you'd hit that like button or that heart button if you see something you really love today. That just helps Facebook know that this is something you like, and it will show it to other people, which is great. Another great thing to help support my business is to share it. So if you could share this, I would very much appreciate that. So if you're on, and make sure you say hello, say hi. Just let me know you're here today. Like I said, I would love to enter you into our drawings, and I always get excited when I see my friends. If you could hit that heart, hit that like button, hit that share button. Again, that just helps my little business grow and grow the more people that get to see me. So thank you. So hi everyone, I'm Tracy Allen. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today I'm going to be showing you a couple trifold cards. So they're trifold cards with a twist. So I'm excited to share them with you. It's a little bit different and a lot of fun. So, and we're going to use the Many Mates stamp set, which is beautiful. I love this stamp set. It's all sentiments, but they're mated pairs of sentiments. So it's a lot of fun when you're making a card with them, because you can add a really bold sentiment, and then you can add kind of the inside of the card too as well. So it's always nice when you have a matched set. So I'll be sharing that with you today. Before I do that, just a reminder, we do have an amazing event this weekend. So if you would like to join us, there is a few spots left for our sign up. We are going to do some social distancing. So there is 45-minute slots for our open house and BOGO sale this weekend, which is June 13th, and it's on a Saturday. Every person who attends gets 2 make and takes. You're going to get to pick up your catalog, which is awesome. I can't wait to show you all the fun new things in the catalog this year. There's prize entries, all kinds of fun stuff, and then we'll be having our buy one get one sale as well. So BOGO sale is awesome. BOGO means I let you shop all of my retired products. So anything I have that's retired, you get to shop at retail cost. So if you purchase $50 worth of retired product from me, I then give you $50 credit to spend in the new catalog. So you can't beat that. It's literally buy one and get one. And a lot of fun. So hopefully you'll be able to join us this week for that. I would love to see you. If you go to the events link, or if you go to our Facebook page down below, you'll find that there. So great, let me go ahead and get started. I'm going to flip the camera and show you what we're working on today. Give me just a moment here. Oops. Alrighty, there we go. My light. These cards are super cute. I had a lot of fun making them. All right, there we go. That's better. A lot of fun making these cards. So we've got 2 we're going to work on today. We're going to, again, showcase the Many Mates stamp set. And again, it's just a sentiment stamp set, but as you can see, you've got these bold sentiments that are great for the front of your card, or even the inside of your card as well. And then you've got these smaller sentiments that pair really well with those bolder sentiments. So you've got things like, this calls for a huge celebration, which could go great with it's your day, or happy birthday, or congrats, or happy anniversary. Any of those would go. Because you make me smile, so maybe that's a happy birthday, or a celebrate, or a thanks. You're just so fabulous. I love this one. I think there's lots of people I can give that to, and that's super fun. There's one here that says so happy for you and also slightly jealous. Maybe that would go pair really good with the celebrate. There's a get well soon. I love this get well soon. And then there's one that says better yet. Isn't that great for the inside of the card? Super fun. Just love these. So this is the Many Mates stamp set. And again, it's going to come with those bold sentiments, and then it has the paired sentiment that goes on the inside of the card. And you can mix and match these, and it's a lot of fun. So we're going to do that today. And we're going to do that by making these tri-fold cards today. So I thought I'd show you a new technique. Maybe it's one you already know, or maybe it's one you're seeing for the very first time. All right, I see a few friends on. Hello, make sure you say hi. Let me know you're watching today. Get you entered into those drawings. There we go. Just gonna double check there. All right, so we're gonna start with this card here. I love the colors of this card. It's so pretty. So this card is using our, those are right on the tip of my tongue, Forever Greenery Designer Series paper. So let me show you this gorgeous paper. So pretty. And I wasn't sold at first, I'll be honest. I wasn't sold at first. I was like, it's just green stuff. And then I got it and I played with it, which is what happens usually. I get something, I play with it, and then I'm like, oh, I love it. So this paper is so pretty. It's a couple different greens. It's our Pear Pizzazz, it's Garden Green, it's our new Jade color, which is just beautiful, Just Jade. And then it also brings in that pretty peacock. So beautiful, and I can tell right now the camera just doesn't do it justice. And then the back side of this paper is equally beautiful. I love the stripes. I cannot wait to play with the stripes. That is going to be a fun one. That'd be great for a tropical card. Oh, I love this pattern too. I love paper that has really great patterns for backgrounds because you can always find ways to use that. And then this really great. Oh, I love this one. So really, really neat paper pack. Forever Greenery. So we're going to use that today. Slide my project over here. And you'll notice when we open it, it has kind of a hidden message in the middle. So you can't see it when we close it. So I'll show you the technique for how to use that trifold card to make that stand out, which is a lot of fun. All right, we're gonna start with our card base. So I've just cut a piece of Whisper White cardstock to 8.5 by 5.5. And then we're gonna go ahead and do some scoring on this. So this is the part that's the most impactful when you're making a trifold card, right? You gotta do some scoring. So we're gonna go ahead and score in the center. So you're gonna find 4 1/4 and score that. I've actually already scored that mark. So when you score that 4 1/4, then we're gonna go ahead and move it to the left, and we're gonna go to 2 1/8. So that's halfway from that front panel, and we're gonna score it. So I'm gonna use my score blade. Make sure you're with the gray blade and not the dark gray blade. And you're gonna just score that there. Easy peasy, okay? So it's hard to tell, but you've got 2 score marks on the front of the card, and then the back of the card will have no score marks on it. So we're gonna fold that in half. And you definitely want a bone folder for this, or something to make a nice crease in it, because you're gonna fold this back, and you're gonna wanna make sure that as you fold it back, you've got a nice crease there. So we've got it folded, we've got our crease right in the center here. We're gonna go ahead and fold that back on itself toward the center of the card, and then we're gonna crease that again. Now I was playing with this earlier, and because it's halfway, it's pretty easy just to judge it without having to score it. I like a score just because I like a really precise line when I do this. When you score it, it also doesn't like have a crack or anything. Sometimes when you just fold paper, you get kind of a crack in the paper. And you don't do that when you score. So we're going to cut our designer series paper, and what I've done is just picked one of the designs that I liked. So I happen to like this one quite a bit. Hi friends, see ya. Hello Carol, nice to see you. Thank you guys for commenting, saying hello. So we're going to go ahead, and I just chose this one. It's so pretty. Really, any of the papers in this paper pack are beautiful. So choose any that you like. I like this one because it has that pretty peacock that kind of stands out in these little dots, and then it has just lots of pretty paper. So we're going to take and we're going to cut it to 5 1/4 by 4 inches. And I'll have all these measurements available for you on our blog. So don't worry about memorizing anything yet. You can just click on the blog link and it'll have all the measurements there for you. But this is a pretty standard down. We're just going 1/4 down from the card size. So I'm going to use Stampin' Seal, which is our brand new adhesive. I'll be honest, I haven't quite got the hang of, you know how you get a new tape runner? Oh, it gets sticky on me. And you're so used to the way you held your other tape runner that this new tape runner, it doesn't quite work as well because you're just getting used to holding it. That's the problem I've had all day. So I started playing with it yesterday. I made a few cards today and I'm like, I'm just gonna have to play with it to get used to it. I do love the actual stickiness of it though. It is definitely more sticky and has a stronger bond than our snail adhesive. So I can tell that right away. So just be aware when you use it, it will stick. Has a really good bond to it. I also love that it's quiet. So I did put some adhesive on there. I don't think you can tell. See, I've got to get used to how to hold it. It's just going to be that way for a little bit. But it's super quiet. There's no clicking. Like snail, I always click, 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 click. This does not click. And it is very sticky, like I said. So, got that all the way around the edge. I'm going to go ahead and just stick that to the inside. So this is going to be our inside panel. And typically in cards, you're not putting the designer paper on the inside, but for this one, we're going to. This is going to be the part that kind of stands out for us. We're going to cut another piece of designer series paper from the same card pack, and we're going to cut that to 2 inches by 5 1/4 inches again. So I chose the same paper. You can choose whichever one you like. They all match beautifully together. And all I'm going to do is just flip it over and use the back side. So I think they match up really well. So I'm going to use this on our front panel. So this is going to be the very front of the card. And I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. I'm just going to use some adhesive on it. Get that all. Okay. Telling you, it's good and sticky. And we're going to just stick that to the front. And I want to line it up similar to the way I line the other one up. So kind of judge it there as best you can. All right. That's not it though. We're not done yet. So we're going to go ahead and I'm just going to add a solid to it, just into this panel, so I'm not leaving it white. You could leave it white. You could even stamp a sentiment here because you're actually going to fold that and you won't see it until you open it. So it's a good place to do your writing as well. So if you're writing a sentiment or writing your thank you or your message to whoever's receiving it, it's a good place. I added, I'm going to add some of our garden green since it matches these. I don't know if those are agave leaves. They're big leaves. I'm going to match the big leaves. That's it, technical term. And so we're going to just line that up. It is the same size as the front panel, so it's 2 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And we're just going to adhere that down with our seal adhesive. Okay, so far so good. All we're doing is cutting. The only tool I have used so far is my trimmer. That's it. All I've used is my paper trimmer and some really pretty paper. So easy peasy, not a lot of supplies needed to make this card, which is what I love, but you get a really big bang for your buck, sort of, as you would say. So then again, we're gonna go ahead and make the front piece. So we're gonna make the part that is our sentiment here. So we're gonna need a couple different pieces. We're gonna need a white cardstock in 2 by 2, so it's just 2 inches by 2 inches. And then we're gonna move up again. So we're gonna go 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. And then we're gonna move up one more step, and so it's gonna be 2 1/2 by 2 1/2. So all you're doing is making squares. And again, I just made these squares with my paper trimmer. I didn't use any special tools, just used my paper trimmer to cut those out. And then I cut out another piece of Whisper White, also at 2 1/2 by 2 1/2. You'll notice that it fits right behind that bigger piece perfectly. And that's because that's gonna be where our inside sentiment goes, and we're gonna hide that with the front. So let's start by doing some stamping. We're gonna make a thank you card. The 2 cards I make the most, thank you and birthday. I tend to use those the most, and so I picked those as my sentiments today. And I'm gonna use our Pretty Peacock, which is our 2019-2021 in color, one of the 5 in colors from that series, and probably one of my most favorite colors. It's this beautiful dark tealy blue. It's my favorite. So they're all my favorite, really. It's hard to pick favorites. So we're going to use this thanks. This is coming from the Mini Mates stamp set. And then I chose for the inside, because you make me smile. So just a cute little sentiment there. So I'm going to ink this up. I have a really juicy ink pad, I noticed. So sometimes if it's too juicy, you can stamp off first. But I'm going to go ahead and stamp thanks in the center here. There we go. Oh, I love that font. That is super cute. I'm going to have to find out what font that is, because I just like that for everything. And then we're going to stamp our inside. And so I want to be able to have room to write, and you know, maybe your signature, to write your sentiment. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure I save a little bit of room. I'm going to stamp this off really quick because it got a little bit juicy. Oh, and it's upside down, so good checking. And I'm just going to stamp that right at the top. There we go, because you make me smile. Super cute inside. I could have pulled a bunch of different insides for this one. Like I said, this has a lot of matching sentiments that are really good for on this stamp set. I just love them. All right, so I'm going to put the ink away so I don't stick my finger in it, because that's exactly what happens. And I'm going to start building that front piece. So all I'm going to do is just take and start building. I'm going to put some seal adhesive on the thanks, and I'm going to adhere that down to my garden green. There we go. Now before I adhere anything to the Pretty Peacock, I'm going to go ahead and use my sprig. Now this is the first tool we brought in, right? No die cuts or anything. You can skip this part. So we could stack this on top, and we could go ahead and put that on the front, and you still have an amazing card, right? Super cute. I love the colors. They all blend nicely together. When we open it, we're going to have this hidden sentiment back here, and you're going to have a great card. But I'm going to add a little bit to it. I want to add some interest. So I'm going to use my sprig punch. The sprig punch is super cute, and I'm going to add a couple little sprigs to it in the different colors that we're using. So we got this garden green. I'm going to punch 2 of these out. When you punch with our punches, you actually do it backwards, right? So you see what you're punching. You're not doing it this way. You're flipping it over. You just want to make sure you're unlocked, and then you can use your 2 hands or even 1 hand and punch. If you have problems like arthritis, or if you have any issues with your hands, one of the really nice things that you can do is you're going to put your paper in, line it up where you want it, and then you're actually going to put it on your table, and you're just going to use your weight to push down. And what that does is that takes the weight out of your hands, or that pressure out of your hands, and you're just using weight. And that's awesome. My mother-in-law has arthritis, and I know it's hard for her to do some of these punches and stuff. So I'm glad they thought of that. I'm actually going to use a little bit of vellum here too. I just think that looks pretty. I could use white as well. I think white would be fine too. Sometimes it's just fun to add something a little different. So I'm going to throw in some vellum sprigs. I'm going to throw in some of the pretty peacock. How many I wanted? 1, 2, 3. Oh, I guess I want double that. Wow. Okay. Let me just get a few more going here. I'll go quick. So while I'm punching this, the Many Mates stamp set that we're using today actually comes with a really cute die set if you want to get the bundle. And whenever you buy a Stampin' Up bundle, you're actually buying the stamp and either the dies or the punch at a 10% discount. So whenever there's a bundle, I always definitely look at the price of the bundle first and decide if that's what I want to purchase, because you're always going to get a deal when you purchase a bundle or a suite. So good idea to keep that in mind. So if you love this stamp set, check it out with the bundle. We're not using the bundle today. We're not using the dies today, but definitely check that out. Told you I'm still, like, I'm not even holding it right. There we go. See? I'm learning. There's these grip down here and then kind of a grip at the top, and it's comfortable. It's super comfortable in my hand. I just got to get used to doing it. So something new, always new. I'm going to take the top and we're just going to put the sprigs in kind of random spots. So I'm going to sprig the top up here. And I put the glue back here so I can just kind of layer some of these sprigs on top of each other. And you just layer them till you like it. I mean, it doesn't have to be anything super fancy here, right? I'm just kind of adding them till I like it. So I cut a bunch just in case I wanted to add some extra. Add a little more adhesive. And seriously, this adhesive is strong. My fingers are sticking. Okay, I think I want one more of these in the corner. And I'll layer that. There we go. All right, and then I'm going to do the bottom. So put a little more adhesive on there. And start kind of layering these on the bottom. Really, you can put them anywhere that you like. I just thought I'd kind of do a little bit to the left and a little bit to the right, so it kind of has a little going this way and a little coming this way. That was my thought process. Just putting them anywhere, really. I don't know that it was as much of a process as just sticking them on. Okay, so there we go. That was super cute. All right, I'm loving it. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to put a little more adhesive on it, so we'll make sure that wherever we just stuck our, oops, oh, see? Sticky stuff. All right. It's okay. You can fix it. Look at that. Fixed. All right. So be gentle when you put on some more adhesive so you don't get those moving. I might actually put on some liquid glue because I think that's going to be a little better. I don't want these guys to move. And then I'm going to adhere that right to the top center of my pretty peacock square. There we go. And it makes it stand out even more, right? You've got these cute little sprigs. They really match the paper, so it gives it a nice look. Right, so that's the front of the card, our little thanks. Oh, that's super cute. Now I've got to figure out how to center it on the front. So the way I do this is honestly, I just eyeball it, but I know that I'm going to have to put adhesive only on the left-hand side because when I pick it up, I don't want this bottom part sticking, and that bottom part is not connected. And so you got to make sure that this doesn't have any adhesive on it. So the way I do that is I grab the part, because I would always put it the wrong way. I'm going to grab the part that should not have adhesive, and that just reminds me to put the adhesive on the right-hand side. There we go. Yeah, that's pretty well centered. Okay. So I'm going to fold that. I'm going to eyeball it. Center it up here. And stick it down. You can kind of use the leaves on your left-hand side too as a guide, since they're going straight up and down. Here we go. What do you think of the front? Cute? I'm loving this one. Now we got to figure out how to get this on. So this is our sentiment, and I don't want to just stick it on because I really do want it to be hidden behind that sentiment, the front sentiment. I want you to not know it's there until you open it up and be surprised. So the way I figured out how to do this is I use Post-it notes. That's right, I'm going to use a Post-it note. Let me show you what I do. I take a Post-it note, because this is great, right? This stuff, it's not permanent adhesive. Now, I use Post-its because it's easy and convenient. Most people have them laying around their office or their desk area. Some people use repositionable adhesive. So you can purchase at craft stores repositionable adhesive. I don't like to purchase extra stuff. So I don't want to buy anything extra. I just want to use what I've got. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull the Post-it note part off. I'll save that. I can write a note on it. I'm going to make it 2 pieces. So I've just got that sticky. And now I'm going to flip this over so that the back side is facing me. So that sentiment side is down. And I'm going to line it up perfectly with that pretty peacock square. And I'm going to leave just a little bit of the peacock. You can see it's kind of poking barely out here to the left. That way I guarantee that it's covering this up. Just make sure it's covering on the top and the bottom. Okay. All right, it's the tricky part. Now you're going to put down your Post-it. So you're going to put just a little bit of your Post-it up here so it sticks, and a little bit of your Post-it down here so it sticks. I'm going to fold it over and just double check. Oh yeah, I don't see it at all. Perfect. Carefully fold it back. Readjust it if you need to. And then you're going to take your adhesive and you're just going to run it over the top. And then if you need to readjust, readjust. Because my finger's stuck to it. I think I've got it right where I want it. Now I'm going to flip it over. And it's not going to move because I got that Post-it tape there. Best thing ever. Love Post-it tape. And then when I lift it up, that adhesive is so strong it's going to stick. And I can just pull my Post-its out. Ta-da! Post-it notes. I'm going to save those because we're going to need those for the next card. All right. So we have made our cute tri-fold sprig card. What do you think? Oh, I'm glad you love it. Yeah, this one is super fun. And really, it's a nice fun fold card. It's simple. You didn't even have to use the sprig. You could have just used your paper trimmer to make this card, right? Paper trimmer and stamps and some paper. So you don't need a lot of tools for this one, which is one of the reasons I love it. So there we go. We've got our thanks card. All right, so I'm going to show you our next card. Before I do, I'm going to give a little commercial break. So we're going to use our in colors for this next card. So the thing I love about our in colors, if you haven't seen them, let me show you all these beautiful colors. Okay, we have Misty Moonlight, Just Jade, Magenta Madness, Cinnamon Cider, and Bumblebee. So we're going to be using the Bumblebee today, and we're going to make a monochromatic card. So it's going to be all Bumblebee, which I love. So we're going to use that today. If you would like to get all of the in colors, I'm running a special right now. It's an in color club. You sign up for the club. The club is $25 a month, which great. And by the end of 5 months, you will have all the stamps, all the paper, all the embellishments, all the specialty designer paper. I'm showing you all kinds of stuff, and more. You'll have a little bit of all the ribbon. There's ribbon that goes with all of this. I'll show you all that beautiful ribbon. And you'll get some bonus ribbon. So it's $25 a month, and each month you get a different color. So each month's gonna come with a different color and a few surprises. So you get a couple sheets of cardstock. You'll get a couple sheets of our designer series paper. You're gonna get a couple of our embellishments. You're gonna have them all in the same color. So maybe your color in July is Bumblebee. So you're gonna get everything Bumblebee. And then in August, your color will be Misty Moonlight or just Jade. And so by the time you're done with 5 months, you're gonna have all of it. You're gonna have every ink pad. You're gonna have all this fun stuff for $25 a month. Such an awesome deal. Can't beat it. Now you can even upgrade it and do the $45 a month. The $45 a month is going to get you some extra designer series paper. It's going to get you our Stampin' blends. So we have blends for each of these. So you'll get those, the light and the dark. And then there's some extras that go with that as well. So super, super awesome deal. Check it out. It's in our Facebook page. So I'll make sure and post that for you as well. And that deal is going on for the month of June and the beginning of July. So if you want to join that In Color Club, please let me know. I'd love to get you signed up for that. Awesome deal. Okay, that was my commercial. Now let's go to Stampin'. So we're going to make another trifold card, and this time we're actually going to make, do some really fun die cutting right in the center of the card. So in order to make this card, you do need a die cut machine. Now, Stampin' Up, if you've looked in the new catalog, you know we've got a new die cut machine, and it is awesome. However, it is not going to be available until probably late summer, early fall. With COVID and all the things going on right now, there's a delay in production, and so we're just waiting to get those because they are going to be amazing. So I'm looking forward to that. Once I have that, I will show that to you right away. There's a larger one, and then there's a mini. So how awesome is that to have a mini die cut machine? You can fold it up and take it with you, which is even the best part. I love that. But today I'm going to use my old die cut machine for you, so please forgive me. It is on its last legs, which is why I really need Stampin' Ups to come out soon. But I'm going to show you mine, and I'm going to show you how you can use any die cut machine to make this really awesome trifold card that has this awesome pop out and then the surprise sentiment inside, which is a lot of fun. Now the nice thing is you can make this card with any designer paper. You don't have to just use what's here. But I kind of like that monochromatic look, like I was saying. So we're going to start by creating our card front. So this is again 8.5 by 5.5. And then we're going to score it. So same thing as before. We're going to have to score on those score lines. So we're going to start by scoring the center. So the center is 4.5. No, I'm sorry, 4.25. 4.25 is the center. And I'm going to go ahead and score that with a nice heavy score. The next score mark I make is going to be the center of the front. So just like before, we're going to scoot it over that front piece. And I'm actually going to do a really gentle score here. So I need to be able to see where the center is, but I don't really want it to be super loose, and I'll show you why in just a second. So we're going to go to 2 1/8, which is the center of the card. And I'm going to just gently kind of score that so that I can see the score line. Okay, so I can see the score line, but it's not a super heavy score compared to my center score. So you might not even be able to see that on the camera. I can see it, so that's what I need there. Then we're going to go ahead and cut, guess we're going to need this again. We're going to cut our designer series paper, so don't put your trimmer away. And we're going to just use one sheet of the designer series paper in the In Color. So we're using the Bumblebee, and I liked the polka dots and then kind of this textured look on the back. So we're going to use that one today. We're going to cut it to 5. I like to use mine upside down. I know. Just a preference. We all have our preference for how we use it. So I use mine upside down. It's just how I like it. And I like to cut to me instead of away from me. I have a demonstrator friend who likes to cut her sideways. We all have our own unique ways, right? So the first thing I'm going to do is cut it to 5 1/4. And that's just to get my base here. So 5 1/4. Then I'm going to take and cut this to 4. So I'll have one piece that's 5 1/4 by 4, and I'll have another piece that's 5 1/4 by 2, because this is a 6-inch piece of paper. So we've got our 2 pieces that we're going to use. We can take that piece and use it for the envelope or something cute later. Pretty sure I'll find a use for that. So 6 by 6 paper is great. You can always use that on your cards here. So before I get too far, I'm going to go ahead and do the die cutting on this one. I'm going to show you the trick to this die cut. So we're going to use the Stitched So Sweetly dies. You do need a layering die of some sort, so you need a die that stacks. So I thought about using these ones because I love those too, but we have so many layering dies, so feel free, you can use any of them, they're all great. I thought I would just use something a little different, so that's why I chose these 2, because they do layer on top of each other, so you can see those match up. But they're kind of a different shape, right? It's not a square, it's not a circle, it's a little bit of, you know, it's just fun. So I decided to use that one. And you can use, like I said, any layering dies will work with this project. So I'm going to grab my machine. Like I said, forgive my old broken Amaze machine here. This was awesome when I got it, you know, 4 or 5 years ago. It was the thing to have. So we're going to take and we're going to look at our score line that we made. And I need to cut so that this piece over here pops out. But I don't want this side to pop out, right? So I have to be really careful when I'm die cutting it. So I'm going to go ahead and center this to the front. So I'm going to find the center where I want that die to be, and I'm going to tape it down. That just makes sure it stays. I do have a magnetic mat here, but just for peace of mind for me, I like it to be in the right spot. So, and if it's not absolutely perfect, that's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and slide this in. How did I do this before? I think I did it this way. It worked out a little better. So I'm going to bring my mat just to that center point. So I only want, again, I have to find my center here because I didn't score it very dark. Okay. So I'm going to bring my plate to the center and maybe just a tiny bit over the center, but not much because you really want it centered. So use that score line to help you. This is the tricky part, I told you. Actually run that down a little bit further. So I'm going to use that score line to help me find the center. Hopefully you can see that on the camera there. And then I'm going to run it through the machine. So you're going to want to hold on to it. Push it down. Yeah, I think I flipped it before. Sorry guys. This will make it easier. I'll run it this way. That way. Haha. There we go. That way I can see it as I'm running it through. Just make sure it's staying right on that center line. Okay. Once you get the hang of it, it's not super complicated. I promise. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and run it through. And that's it. Once you run it through, you're going to check the back, and look at that. Only half of it got cut. And that's the whole point. That's what you're trying to do there. So you're trying to make sure that only half of it is getting cut through, and it's on that far side of your card. So kind of tricky. Play with it. It might take a little practice, but that's okay. That's perfectly okay. And now we've got that really cool cut there. So that is perfect. And that is going to be the center point of our card. So now we're going to go ahead and fold everything together. So I'm going to use my bone folder. And I'm going to fold the center. And then I'm going to fold this part over. I can feel my score line there. So I'm just going to make sure I've got that on the score line. And I'm going to score that really good. There we go. And now you've got your trifold. So you've got your base for your card. So now we're just going to layer a bunch of stuff on top of it. Really, that's the hardest part of the card. Once you've got that piece done, the rest you pretty much is just putting it together. So we're going to take our cardstock here, our designer series paper, and we're just going to give it a lot of sticky. And we're going to take the largest piece, and that's going to be the inside again. So that largest piece is actually going in the middle of the card. I'm just going to lay that down right in the center. Such a cool paper. And then you can decide. You can decide if you want this to be the same or if you want it to be different. I actually used the opposite side just because I liked the texture and because all the colors match so well. It doesn't really matter what you're using because everything's going to match really beautifully, right? See, I'm just still getting used to this. There we go. We'll get the hang of it. Alrighty. And I'm going to center that in. And then I went ahead and I already cut the inside of the shape. So that was our smaller die. So you're going to want to cut that out in white. And then you're going to want to cut the bigger die out again in white. So you'll take that and cut that out again. We're going to use these to do our stamping on today. So we're going to use that bumblebee because it's so pretty. And I decided this was going to be a happy birthday one. So I love this happy birthday. I think it's bold and fun. So super, super cute stamp. And we're going to stamp that on the smaller piece. So I'm going to say happy birthday. And we're going to stamp that a little toward the top because we're going to put a bow on the bottom there. There we go. Happy birthday. And then again on the inside, you can stamp all kinds of different sentiments. I chose, this calls for a huge celebration. And I'm just going to stamp that again in the bumblebee. I'm going to stamp that right toward the top. It's great because it kind of fits in this little circle here perfectly, right? It's like it's made to go there. And then you've got plenty of room to sign it or write any other sentiments you want on the card. Okay, once we've got our stamping done, now we can go ahead and start adhering stuff down. So again, we're going to take that happy birthday. We're going to just put some Stampin' Seal on it. And this is going to get lined up on the center of your card. Right in the front. There we go. Super cute. And again, we're going to use that same technique. So I saved my little pieces here. And I'm going to line this up as very best I can. I'm going to leave just a little bit of that yellow showing on the left, because then I know it's going to cover it really well. And I'm going to use this Post-it note tape to stick this down. adhesive. Make sure I get a good bond all the way across. I'm telling you, still getting used to it. A little bit there, a bit over here. Perfect. A little bit more at the bottom. There we go. All right, I'm going to reposition this because I flubbed it. There we go. Make sure that's stuck down. And all you're going to do is fold it over. And stick it down. There we go. So it's nice and hidden, right? And then you're just going to pull that back and those pieces will come right off. And you've got, this calls for a huge celebration. And you can't see it. Lastly, we're just going to dress this one up. So Bumblebee, in Bumblebee, there is a ribbon that's a gingham ribbon that's made in the Bumblebee, and it's so cute. So I definitely am going to use that and make a cute little bow for the front. So nothing fancy. I'm just going to tie a little bow here. And I just made a little bow. Ooh, that's a big bow. There we go. Just get it to the point where you like it. And then I'm going to snip the edge. And then I'm going to just use a little bit of if you have glue dots are great for this. I like glue dots. Stampin' Up! Uses little mini glue dots. They're awesome. And they stick really well and help keep everything in place. So, I'm just going to use 2 little glue dots on there. You can also glue dot the kind of the bottom of your ribbon too if you want it to stay in a particular spot. I'm fine with kind of wherever it goes. So. Here we go. Cute little ribbon. And then I'm going to dress it up with a couple little embellishments. So these are the In Color Enamel Dots, and as you can see they come in all 5 of the colors. So I'm going to use my Picket tool, and I'm just going to pick those up right off the paper. Isn't that great? It sticks so perfectly. And then I can put it down exactly where I want it. When I was playing with this one, I was like, what dots do I want to use? Because I knew I wanted to dress up the front. And I wasn't sure I wanted to use these ones. I think another one I would probably use is our, we have these really shiny gold enamel dots. And I think they go really nicely with the Bumblebee too, and they're a little larger. And I thought they would have fit really nice like in the corners here and really blinged it up. The other thing that you can do to kind of dress this card up a little is you can actually take just a piece of paper. You're going to cover this, and then you can actually stamp maybe one of our texture stamps to it. So I was thinking, as I was looking at it, I was thinking, oh, Comfort and Hope has some great textures to it. I was thinking maybe that, or even just the sequins and the little dots, and you just stamp it in the same color, and then you've given yourself some designer series paper without having to actually make any designer paper, right? And it just makes this piece stand out from this bottom piece. So that's kind of fun. I'm probably going to play with that as soon as I turn the camera off. The other thing that I think would make it really fun is this Wink of Stella. So dress it up, give it some pizzazz by going over your words with Wink of Stella, and then it's just going to glimmer. So it's just a clear glitter, kind of a silvery glitter, and it just makes it stand out. It's just so pretty on your cards. And it's subtle. It's not going to be like, wow, glitter. And it won't flake off or anything, which is great. So those are our cards today. So we've got our trifold cards. This one's going to require some die cuts and a few more tools. This one, you just need a paper trimmer for. And you can add that sprig punch if you want. So a great way to make a fun card. And that way you're doing, it's a little bit different than a regular A2 size card, right? You've got a trifold here. So hopefully you enjoyed that. I really appreciate you being on with me tonight. Thank you so much. Be sure to say hello, say hi, so you can get entered in those drawings for those monthly prizes. And then be sure to go ahead and like and subscribe. So if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you click that subscribe button. I put out videos every week with all kinds of new techniques and new stamps and new products, and I'd love to share those with you. So make sure you subscribe and have a wonderful evening. Have a very blessed evening. Hopefully you're midway through your week, so if you're like me, it's been a little crazy. Hopefully your week will just get better as you head on into Friday. All right, guys, thank you again. I love hanging out here with you, and I will see you on Friday. Have a great night.